There is another warning. Well, not really a warning. There's just something I want to make you alert of. And this is another trap that many people can't see for what it really is. Often people want a good environment. They want to hang around the right crowd. They want to have good friends, people that have a good influence on them. And there's nothing wrong with wanting a good environment. I can understand perfectly why you want a good environment. And you should want a good environment. You should. You should want to have beneficial people around you. You should want to have what I call good people around you. Well, you should. I understand that perfectly. However, what most people consider good is often not that good at all. If you go to a child of 7 years old that really wants candy and wants to watch movies all night long, what is good according to that kid? Eating a lot of candy and watching movies. What's bad according to that kid is the parents telling him or her, you need to go to bed now and no more candy for you. Let that child grow and become 15, 16. And now he will look back and think, Mom and Dad were right. All that candy is not good for you. Now the kid knows that too much sugar in your body can even make you sick, and that too much sugar will rot your teeth. Now the child knows all of that. He didn't knew it back then. So what he considers good now is not what he used to consider good. The child has grown. The child has matured. Now, most people are not walking by faith. They're not operating in supernatural. They're operating from self-validation, or you can also call it self-preservation. From that framework, they operate. They think in line with that framework. So everything they judge, either good or bad, is based on that framework. But here's the thing, that framework is not in agreement with Christ. That framework is not even in agreement with the reality around them. But yet they think it is. Because that framework is how the world operates, and that framework is validated everywhere. But they're not aware that they have been deceived. They can't see the deception. So what they will consider good will be relaxing and will be beneficial on the short term, but from when you look at the bigger picture, from the wider perspective, you'll see it's not that good at all. And now, there's another thing I want to point out here. There are those of you who are watching this video or listening to this recording, you come from a good home, you had a loving, nurturing environment. And you know what? I'm glad you have it. Not everyone had an oppressive background. And I don't want anyone to have an oppressive background, but unfortunately I have to admit and be real, a lot of people come from oppressive backgrounds. If you came from a loving, nurturing environment, I'm happy for you. I really am. I'm glad. Just understand this. Just because you were not in a physically violent environment, or an environment where drugs was being used and all of that, just because you have a relieved environment where you grew up in, that does not mean automatically that you don't need any deliverance. And this is a deception a lot of people have. They think because they had nurturing parents, a nurturing family around them, that means they're all right. And they're close to perfection. They just need to fix a little bit in their behavior and they're all right. That's how a lot of people think. And that's a big trap of the enemy. Okay, I'm going to give an illustration now. You have Joey. Joey grew up with both parents being very loving and kind. Joey grew up in a village. Everyone knew one another. When Joey was hungry and the parents weren't at home, the neighbors would feed him. So it was a very kind environment. When Joey was wrong, people would point out he was wrong. And when one of his parents lost his or her temper, they would apologize. Or people from church would call them to account. So overall, Joey didn't experience any major trauma while growing up. Well, he did face some stuff because this is the world. Relatives died, so he encountered trauma when his grandma died because the woman wasn't around anymore. So yeah, just like all people face some traumatic event during their lifetime, he faced that his grandma died. And there were a few kids that didn't want to hang around him, so he faced that. But overall, he had a very fun childhood. And this upbringing contributed to him having a relaxed mindset. He was not that affected or persuaded easily when people tried to persuade him. But here's the thing. Joey grew up in a cult. All the people he grew up around were part of that cult. And because people were part of the cult, and the people in that cult were afraid of the elders of the cult, they all behaved. And it was because these people behaved that people didn't even think about harming Joey. Joey was a very talkative, loud kid, and there were people that wanted to smack him. But they knew if they do something out of control, the elders would come after them. But Joey is not aware of this. Joey is thinking that those people are good people, that they all mean well, and that if you just behave well, everything's going to be fine. Because Joey grew up in a cult, he grew up with a framework of how to view the world, how to view other people. And that framework, it came from a cult, so it didn't come from Christ, so it was wrong. But Joey was blind to the framework he was conditioned into. Now, Joey was not stupid. He had intelligence. He excelled in school. He even attended college and graduated cum laude. But here's the thing. Joey had no perspective. He just, how do I say it? He conformed to society, and he avoided everyone that sounded a bit troubling, and things were working out for him. And because things were working out for him, he didn't see that he was deceived. Now, one day, Joey met a young girl, and well, Joey was 23, the girl was 21, and they began to date. Joey wanted to wait until marriage before they had sex, because Joey had strong boundaries that his parents conditioned him with, and the girl was so excited that Joey had such boundaries. One day, he brought the girl to his parents' house and to the people he grew up with in that village. After that, the girl cut off all contact. And Joey began to think, what happened? He tried to call the girl, but the girl blocked him on social media and all of it. So Joey thinks, okay, that's it. That's not God's will. After a while, Joey got a job in San Francisco, and he went there. In San Francisco, there were many gay bars. There was a lot of things that Joey considered sinful, but he had his strong boundaries, and he was very plain for what he stood for. When he was in San Francisco, a buddy of him called. This was this guy was a Buddhist. He met him when he was in college. And the Buddhist guy asked him, Joey, you used to date, let me think of a name, you used to date Francine, right? Then Joey said, yeah, I did. Why? Then the guy asked what happened. And Joey told him, dude, I brought this chick to my parents because I was serious about us. I wanted to build a future with her. I wanted to buy a house together and all of that. I was even planning to have kids. I wanted to meet my parents. Afterwards, she blocks my social media and all of it, and she doesn't answer any calls, anything. You know what? I have no time for that. I moved on. And then the guy asked him, haven't you heard about it, Joey? Then Joey asked, what's going on? The guy told them that girl that used to date, she's missing. And Joey said, what? She has been missing since the day that she visited you and your parents. The police have been searching for her. Her family is looking for her. They can't find her anywhere. At the job, she didn't show up. People are very upset about it. And Joey thought, what? Joey told them, it has been already a month ago that she came to my parents' house. Why didn't anyone tell me anything? Then the guy said, well, Joey, people always knew you were a hard-working young man. You don't want to put up with bullshit and all of that, so people didn't want to bother you with it. So then Joey was thinking, what? Okay, after the conversation, Joey began to think what would have happened. But this is what was going on. When Joey was dating that woman, there were people from the cult following Joey, and they saw him with that girl. One day, Joey came up with the idea to introduce her to his parents, because that's what Joey was told to do. Once you find a girl and you want to build a life with her, you go to your parents. So the people of the cult knew Joey would come with her to his parents soon. The day that Joey brought her to his parents, the people of the cult, when she left, approached her and told her never to come back again. So what happened? Suzanne left. Suzanne went out of town. Suzanne was frightened. And then here's another thing. Suzanne was aware of the occult, noticed some symbols and some artifacts in the house of Joey's parents, and she recognized immediately that those were occult symbols. So that woman, Francine, well, she was frightened. Well, did I say Suzanne? Okay, for me, I often use Suzanne in my parables. Now I use Francine. Anyway, the girl was frightened. And she thought that the cult was coming after her. That's why she didn't dare to call anyone. Now, this is a very extreme example, I know that. But here's the thing, Joey was completely unaware of the type of environment he really grew up in. The environment was a relieving environment. It was also a nurturing environment. That's all true. That's all good. But the good he experienced was part of a cult to keep him trapped. And Joey had a lot of wrong thinking patterns that were not in agreement with Christ. So, yes, Joey had a good environment, but good according to whose standard? And now, listen to what I'm saying here. When you are following God, when you are following the Most High, there will be things He will permit to happen to you. Maybe it's you, people firing from the job because they're hating on you. Maybe your computer is breaking down and you need to buy a new one and think, what? Or maybe I don't know what it is, but there will be things will be permitted to happen. And those things that are permitted to happen are meant for you to grow and to be delivered from the mindset, from the way of thinking of this world. Well, here's the thing. The way of thinking of this world has good stuff in it. And a lot of people, they are attached. Let me say they're obsessed with the good stuff of this world. But they forget that it's the good of the world. and they forget who is the God, little g, of this world. So any good that the little g God of this world will offer you is to keep you trapped in the world. But most people don't have that perspective. They only look at the relief and the so-called solutions, the so-called fixes they get. They don't look at the bigger picture. So understand this. It's good that you want a good environment, that you want the right type of people around you, and it's even good that you want that you want a suitable marriage partner for yourself. That's all good. You want to have a good environment where your children would grow up. All of those longings and wishes out of themselves, there's nothing wrong with them. Absolutely not. But good according to who? Too often people don't evaluate their way of thinking. And that's how many are deceived. Okay, I'm going to close the recording now. It's evening here. I'm about to go to sleep, so forgive me if I didn't speak that fluently here. I'm sorry. Nevertheless, I wanted to make this recording before going to sleep and tell you to watch out for the trap of a good environment. Watch out for the trap of the right people or the right partner. Why? Because often when we have such longings, let me say this, a lot of people, they have a framework of how they think, everything they process through this framework, and it's based on this framework that they want the right stuff. If the framework is anti-Christ, then even if you want the same, if you want the good stuff, you want those good stuff based on that framework. So those good stuff are going to be part of the perversion of that framework. Do you understand what I'm saying here? But okay, for now, agree with Christ and be at peace.